possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there?
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead.
Will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon.
Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
President Biden says that he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter. Is he going to ask Donald Trump to do that?
I don't have anything else to share about that. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole on this. I've been very clear. The president's been very clear when we've been asked this question.
Biden gave his son an extraordinarily sweeping pardon for any and all crimes he committed, may have committed, or even merely been involved in at any point in the last 10 years. Trying to explain his decision to Americans, President Biden made a personal appeal. He said this, quote, "I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision," he said last night. Understand? Americans might, though they'll have to be forgiven for thinking that all of this was off the table.
Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
I could speak for the president, and he said he would not pardon his son.
Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
President Biden has made a decision to pardon his son Hunter ahead of the transfer of power to President-elect Donald Trump, according to a senior White House official with direct knowledge of the decision. He's expected to announce it later on tonight. And this comes months after Hunter Biden was convicted on gun charges back in June. That marked the first time a sitting president's child was convicted of a crime. Hunter Biden also pleaded guilty to federal tax charges in September. White House officials and President Biden himself have said repeatedly that he would not, in fact, pardon Hunter before leaving office. But tonight we learned of the president's decision. Again, a reversal for him and what the White House has said President Biden would do.
Elon Musk has slammed Joe Biden for pardoning his son Hunter after he repeatedly denied he would. Biden's bombshell decision will see Hunter pardoned for any crimes he may have committed from January 1st, 2014 through to December 1st, 2024, including his convictions on federal gun and tax fraud charges. The Tesla CEO pointed out the hypocrisy of the president, who claimed nobody is above the law back in May, while Trump has used the opportunity to reinforce his commitment to pardoning January 6th rioters.
Well, I won't pretend to speak for the entire caucus, but I will say, way to go, Joe. Let me be the first one to congratulate the president for deciding to do this, because at the end of the day, we know that we have a 34-count convicted felon that is about to walk into the White House. So for anyone that wants to clutch their pearls now because he decided that he was going to pardon his son, I would say take a look in the mirror. Because we also know that when it comes to this cabinet has more people accused of sexual assault than any incoming cabinet probably ever in the history of America. So we are living in unprecedented times, and we know that this was completely political. As someone who serves on the Oversight Committee, this was gamesmanship the entire time.
What's also really interesting about this is actually the scope of the pardon that the president has granted his son. It's really unusual. It's not just for these two convictions that he has. It's for a blanket period from the 1st of January 2014 up till the end of 2024. And the Republicans have always tried to accuse Hunter Biden of influence peddling in his business dealings in China and Ukraine especially. And this means that they cannot prosecute him for anything in that period. So, you know, Joe Biden clearly has pulled out all the stops to try and protect his son here. And the Republicans are not happy about it. And I'll read you a couple of these quotes. We have from Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She says, "This pardon is Joe Biden's admission that Hunter is a criminal. Joe Biden is a liar and a hypocrite all the way to the end." And then from Donald Trump Jr., he says, "Everyone knew he was going to do it. He was just going to do it when it was of no consequence to Democrat electability," because, of course, he made all the promises that he would not pardon Hunter Biden when he was still in the running for the presidency. But I think on a personal level, when you think about the tragedies that he has experienced in his life, Joe Biden, losing 2 children. I think he didn't want to see a third son go to jail with the possibility that he would be continually prosecuted even afterwards.
President Biden's very surprised announcement last night that he is going to pardon his son Hunter, despite saying before that he would never do that. Hunter Biden was facing possible prison time in 2 separate cases, which the president claims were tainted by partisan politics.
When Hunter Biden was convicted of 3 felonies in a Delaware federal gun possession case back in June, the president vowed,
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
And just after the election, the White House vowed again it wouldn't happen.
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
But now, with just weeks left in the Biden presidency, amid threats by President-elect Trump and his allies to continue pursuing investigations against Hunter Biden, the president said he would pardon his son, calling the cases against him a miscarriage of justice. Adding, no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's case can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. The sweeping pardon now clears Hunter Biden of all crimes he's committed or may have committed over 10 years between January 1st, 2014 and December 1st, 2024. Hunter's attorneys released a statement widely seen as a last-ditch attempt to convince the president to pardon his son, describing his legal battle as a 7-year saga. Sunday night, IRS Special Agent Joseph Ziegler, who blew the whistle on Hunter's tax case, said politics had nothing to do with Biden's prosecution. It's not the first time a sitting president has pardoned someone close to them. Bill Clinton did so for his younger half-brother Roger, who'd served time on drug charges. And during his first term, then President Trump granted clemency to his son-in-law Jared Kushner's father, Charles Kushner. He had pleaded guilty to tax evasion, campaign finance crimes, and witness tampering. On Saturday, Trump said he plans to nominate Charles Kushner to be his ambassador to France. In his own statement released Sunday, Hunter Biden said he'd taken responsibility for his past mistakes. Quote, I will never take the clemency I've been given today for granted and will devote the life I have rebuilt to helping those who are still sick and suffering.
I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
We have some huge breaking news right now. President Joe Biden has decided to pardon his son, Hunter Biden. He made the decision over the weekend. Hunter Biden was previously convicted of multiple charges in Delaware and pled guilty to multiple tax-related charges in California. Now, you may not recall this, but when Hunter Biden was convicted in Delaware, jurors actually spoke to the media, and at least one juror said that they did not believe that the case should have been brought in the first place. There were a lot of controversies regarding the special counsel's prosecution of Hunter Biden from its inception, and a lot of folks even thought that Hunter Biden was targeted merely because he was Joe Biden's son. Now, according to reports from MSNBC, Hunter Biden will be pardoned before Joe Biden leaves office, and Joe Biden made the decision to pardon Hunter over this past weekend. It's unclear whether President Biden will issue any other pardons before he leaves office. It is typical for a president to issue pardons. Donald Trump did that and pardoned Jared Kushner's dad before he left office. Comment below your thoughts, let me know what you think, and as always, follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Joe Biden went ahead and pardoned his son with basically the last month of his presidency. And I was thinking, like, not for nothing, I don't blame him. If I had that kind of power and my son needed help, like, if you really think about it, like, what was he supposed to do? Pardon some rapper, pardon some criminal he don't know, or his own son? Like, I understand it is kind of some, there is some abuse of power in that. But at the end of the day, that's his son. I don't care what the news is going to say. At the end of the day, like, y'all going to have a new presidency. Y'all going to move on. Or am I supposed to leave my child in jail because I'm not trying to ruffle some feathers? So I kind of understand where he's coming from. And if you really think about it, Joe Biden had 4 kids, right? 3 of them are dead. Like, and he lost a spouse. Like, if you really think about it, that's kind of crazy. Like, so he has one more kid left to get it right. And although his son has had troubles in the past, like, there's no way if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't take my son out of that situation. You feel me? So I feel like even though there is some abuse of power there because, you know, he's using his presidential power to benefit his own family, I mean, that's what people do all the time. People use their power to. People do that in corporate America all the time. But it's just, this is, I guess, a different situation. But still, I understand where you're coming from. Lastly, I wish he had pardoned my student loans, but I understand that there's more to that meets the eye. I still understand why he pardoned his son. I'm just saying, if you pardon some of my student loans as well, that's also all right, okay?
I've been wondering when this would happen. I've been asking about it on my show. President Biden is set to issue a pardon of his son, Hunter Biden. And you know what? I think that he should. What's good for the Donald is good for the Hunter. What do you think?
So President Biden has become the first president to ever pardon his son. 3 federal gun charges Hunter Biden had. And back in June, President Biden said he would not be pardoning his son. Hunter Biden also is facing tax evasion. Remember, they falsely accused Trump of that? He actually got busted for it. But apparently, big crook always gets away. Some people can get away with crimes and others can't. We got a 2-tier justice system here. Be sure to follow me so you don't miss any more of these. MAGA 2024.
Breaking news. President Joe Biden has moved to pardon Hunter Biden. Now, he said that he wasn't going to do so. His staff said the same thing.
The president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
You can see for yourself. Whenever Biden's lips are moving, he's lying. But my heart goes out to all of the people who are behind bars on frivolous charges. In particular, I think about the majority of blacks who voted for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden over the past couple elections. Who's going to pardon Ray Ray? Who's going to pardon Day Day? What about Ray Man and J Man and Bad Man and Black Man, all these other people? Who is going to pardon them? What kind of privilege should we call this? Is this Democrat presidential privilege? Sadly, the Democrats are at an all-time low. This man was convicted of gun charges, financial charges, but yet and still, he gets pardoned while others are behind bars.
Hello, you guys. I'm just wondering why President Biden would pardon his son. I get it. It's his son. He doesn't want to see his son in jail, but his son deserves to be there. But my whole thing is, if he's going to pardon his son, why wouldn't he pardon that innocent black man, Marcellus Williams, who sat on death row for 20 years for a crime that he didn't commit, and there was evidence saying that he didn't commit no crime. You guys. And he got executed in September for the crime that he didn't commit. I don't understand why he didn't pardon that innocent man. But hey, we're going to let the pieces fall where they lie, and just say, wow. Wow. Wow is all I could say, you guys. It's just so sad that this man is actually going to get away with 10 years worth of crime. Whatever he did within January 1st, 2014 to, I think, the end of 2024 is wiped out. He cannot be tried for any of them. And, now that this man's going to go back into obscurity and he's no longer going to be in the White House smoking crack, right? He's going to do it in the safety of his nice home where nobody can see and everything. This is super sad. But look, you guys, this is the world we live in. Good people don't get away with anything, but criminals get away with everything. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a talking head. Have a great day, YouTube.